Roblox is out now on the Quest 2, and this is what I said last night after spending some time in the game. Wow is all I can say, and not in a good way. It's probably one of, if not the worst Quest experiences I've had. Fast forward to today, and I just spent 3 hours in Roblox VR on the Quest, and I might just have to eat my words. Don't get me wrong, the VR implementation and controls need a massive amount of work. In fact, there are games you can jump into in Roblox that don't even work at all, or have you stuck in one position. What you're seeing on screen right now is actually Roblox. I jumped into these incredibly impressive environments, and they kind of blew my mind. That's not to say they were perfect, and when cranked all the way up, there was some frame drops, but I ended up leaving my time in Roblox today thoroughly interested and impressed to see what happens next. And here's why. First of all, when you think of Roblox, you think of those Roblox-looking characters and all those kiddie worlds, right? Well, that is 100% there, and it's everywhere. There's just crap sticking to the walls everywhere in this game. So you gotta do some digging to really find the really interesting stuff. I actually played a Nerf game. Now, currently in VR, the gun is just kind of stuck to your hand and you point with your arm. There's no interactions with your offhand. In fact, you don't even have an offhand. And there's no reloading. But you can jump and you can shoot, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. In my opinion, it's actually more fun than the Nerf game we have or had on the Quest platform officially. I spent several rounds blasting enemies with Nerf darts, and one thing about this is that because it's a flat game that you can play in VR, they don't hold your hand. That means that you can jump on jump pads, and cannons will fire you through the air, and the environments are huge, and some of them actually look pretty darn good too. Speaking of looking good, there's a life simulator game that I played where you can buy houses and you can go to a mall, and there was so much there it kind of made my brain hurt. I kind of wanted to just try everything. It's the role-playing imaginative kids dreamland. You can literally go anywhere in this world, whether it's to the police station, to a capsule hotel, to your own home, and everything is interactive pretty much. Now, it's not interactive through VR just yet. Hopefully that eventually comes. You can flip on switches and turn on and off lights and perform actions, but all the actions end up being flat actions. So you can cook something on the stove, but you just click a button and it cooks it for you, and then you kind of hold it in your hand like you're in Minecraft and hold a button to eat it. So that's not ideal at all, but I see the appeal to something like that because there's a massive world there that just got dropped onto the Quest that already exists. It doesn't even need people in there to make it working. Now, that's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. I kind of actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, I'm kind of embarrassed to say. But after I pulled myself away from exploring my own homes, I jumped into some what are called showcases. Now, this is free, so I'll put a link in the description. You can go to App Lab, you can download Roblox. You do have to sign up for an account before going into the app because you cannot sign up in the app, you can only log in. Once you're logged in, type showcase into the search bar. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that these are graphics intensive. When recording, it made it worse, so you're gonna see even more frame drops and some hitching. But what you're seeing on screen is recordings of me jacking the visuals up to 10 in most cases, sometimes 6 or 7, depending on if it didn't play at all. This one here was like a kung fu style environment where you could walk around. Look how darn impressive this looks on standalone. This is running on the 10 graphics level. I did not have any frame drops in this in the slightest bit. Now, a lot of what Roblox is about interactivity and multiplayer, but there are story-based things as well. Considering I went into the day today expecting I was going to make a video bashing the awfulness of Roblox on Quest, I am kind of at a loss for words, to be honest. Now, I still think my comments from yesterday on Twitter were 100% accurate. It's probably one of the worst implemented VR games I've seen on Quest ever or in a long time. It takes some work to get things working properly. Every time you go into a world, it puts you into the third person. You have to click your right thumbstick in to get to the first person, which I hate. And it's just full of glitches and bugs because it's an open beta, but it feels like it's in a pre-alpha. Having said that, what got me excited though was the potential for this. Like the visuals that you've been seeing on screen, that's on standalone in Roblox. This what you're seeing on screen right now is actually a first-person shooter. It is not VR supported, so it just kind of sticks the gun to the front of your face and doesn't even move when you turn your head, so it's hard to shoot things. But I wanted to show it because it looked really good, and it's a 25 versus 25 player game in Roblox. The visuals aren't bad, the guns look really good, and if we could get VR interactions, or at least a VR game that's like this in Roblox that someone builds, that would be amazing. And I think with the addition of Quest to this platform, we actually will start to see more VR-specific stuff. There is some VR-specific stuff, but most of what I tried that was VR-specific actually was worse than the flat stuff I tried that worked with VR, if that makes any sense. Let's get real here for just a second. Roblox is a platform that's mainly inhabited by young kids, probably between the ages of 6 and 10, some older than that. Hopefully not younger than that, but there probably is. Although there is probably a community of adults in there as well. Having jumped into it as an adult and seeing what's there actually shocked me. I have no experience with Roblox whatsoever, aside from seeing the gift cards in the store every time I go to Walmart. So I was actually shocked to learn how much was there. The literal millions and hundreds of thousands of people that are playing at any given time, it blew my ever-loving mind. And I know I've mentioned on the channel before that visuals can be great in Roblox, but I had my doubts. Like, I was thinking, there's no way this is going to run on standalone, right? And yet you're seeing it running on standalone. Even if it does have frame drops, a little additional power, Quest 3, for instance, a little additional optimization, and then drop the visuals down just slightly, you can actually get lighting and post-processing on the Quest that works because of Roblox, which is crazy. It actually kind of makes me want to build some worlds in Roblox just because I want to see if it's possible to make something amazing that's designed just for VR. Now, this isn't a video to say Roblox is going to change the world and it's going to be the biggest thing to come to Quest since, I don't know, whatever, the Quest released. But it is to say that I wouldn't count it out just yet. Yesterday, at the end of the day, I was disappointed, like extremely disappointed. I thought that Roblox was going to really help do something. Even if it was bringing kids to the platform, it would give a funnel of a place to go for them to go to, a place that they could enjoy, because I've got kids. I don't hate kids. I love kids. I think that they should have a place that's safe to go and fun to play. The negative that I've seen with Roblox so far being in the game is most of it is pay-to-win style. It's a mobile game style thing. So in every single game, you could pay for Robux or whatever they're called, and you could buy new stuff, whether it's a new house or if it's an unlockable or whatever it is, you can buy it. It feels very mobile game-like, very much so. That part I don't like. But the things that I played, you could do that, but it didn't change the game itself for me. Like, for me anyways, in the Nerf game, for instance, you could buy other weapons. I did pretty darn good coming in first and second place most rounds that I played, even with just the basic guns that they had. In the world simulator that I played, which I cannot remember the name of off the top of my head, you could buy additional things like houses and pets and all these things, but there's plenty there to use that was free as well. Now, the jury's still out on whether all these fixes are going to come to this game once it gets out of beta to make it actually fun and playable for everyone. Currently, it works, but you don't have VR hands, you just shows controllers. You don't have an avatar body that you move around. It's not ideal for VR. It's very early access feeling, but at the same time, it shows way more potential than I initially thought. It's something that I'm going to keep experimenting with. And in fact, I actually want to go back in and find more worlds because these showcase worlds, they're fantastic. And there's so many different games that I just want to try. Silly little cartoony games that could be fun. Things that, spark the kid in me and want me to play. Another issue that I came across was the whole private server thing, having to pay money to actually have private servers. The benefit of this, though, is that most places, there's no voice chat. It's all text chat, and you don't have to look at it. So I don't have to worry about running in and having kids screaming at me, which is a huge improvement over some other platforms that I've played in VR. Needless to say, I left Roblox today thoroughly intrigued. I don't want to say impressed, because I think that's pushing it too far, but thoroughly interested in seeing what it could do and wanting to know more, which is a massive improvement over last night. Personally, Roblox is still not the kind of game I would just play all the time or ever in flat, but because it's VR, it actually makes me kind of interested. There's so many things to do. There's so many role-playing worlds, for instance, you can explore that are based on movies and games and TV shows, and I kind of lost myself in this like black hole of stuff. There's so much, and I don't even know. Like, words escape me. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm not trying to, say this is huge. But something about it just made me excited to see more. Whether that's because there's so much there, whether it's because the kid inside of me got so excited to be able to play pretend in some of these role-playing worlds that were so involved and massive because they're built in flat and they translate to VR. I don't know. Last night, I wouldn't have recommended you trying it out. I actually would have said steer clear. But now, I think if you find the right experiences, then I would actually try it. I think if you've got kids, I think the potential of Roblox being a place to spend time with your children could be massive. The role-playing, imaginative experiences that you can do in these places could be huge if you've got kids and you want to spend time with them. Whether it's running a pizza restaurant or running a coffee shop, or if it's just playing a house with your kids and pretending that you live there. I don't know. Maybe that's what's really hit me, and that's why it makes me excited, because I've got kids and I kind of want to just jump in and spend time with them in these simple, fun, colorful worlds, and also have some really cool stuff to see in these really high-fidelity worlds. Anyways, that is my Roblox introduction video. My first introduction to Roblox, and it was very interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button for more VR and Quest content, and happy questing.